Niggas think I'm weird and they don't really like me. Cause I can fuck your bitch and fuck.
Welcome everyone. I'm assuming you guys click on this video because you want to go from Bronze to Immortal, and coming from me, I am currently Immortal 2 Killjoy mainly. So let's get to it. The main thing that I do is I always warm up before I go into any of my unrated or comp games. And so one of the ways I warm up is I do use aim trainers. I do use aim labs. And one of the cool things that I do is I use aim labs, grid shot, and I use motion shot. And I'll pull it up for you guys real quick and show you kind of guys what we're looking at here, because it's really cool. It's a way to warm up, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's just something that I've learned along the ways that it's really useful to warm up before you start playing. I don't really use those as like something I spend like a lot of time on. It's just something that I'll get warmed up in before I hop into Valorant. So before I even log into my Valorant account, I aim on aim labs, go to spider shot, and I go to grid shot, and those are things that I use before I even hop onto Valorant. Now, I do highly recommend doing spike diffuse and spike planting early on, because it's really great for peeking pointers, getting used to having that your crosshair at headshot level. All right, right now we're still on the warming up process. We'll get to crosshair placement and everything, but this is just part of my process, just so you guys get an idea of how someone who's at one of the top levels in the game gets warmed up before he even plays. So usually what I like to do is I will go on ball difficulty hard, and I'll start on pistol mode. Okay, then I'll go on start. Now the thing is about this is you can buy your abilities. I don't feel like it's useful to buy your abilities at all, and this just gets you used to just coming around corners. You know what I mean? So you just get used to coming around corners, getting ready to get that crosshair placement right, and get one tap. Now the ball difficulty on hard is very hard. I mean, as you saw that, I mean, I completely just got melted. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But that's just something you get used to. Sometimes you win the gun fights, sometimes you lose them. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. Can't win them all, and just like that. So that's just kind of like how I like to go start it up. You can do spike diffuse, get used to it. You can use pistol, then you can work your way up to using vandals, phantoms, umps. But that's just kind of like a rough. Now after you get used to spike diffuse, spike plant, you're feeling like you kind of get like a better understanding of the game. Now we're still assuming you're at this bronze level, right? We're not assuming you've played ranked much. We're not assuming you've even gone into the comp scene. We're just assuming you just want to get better. Okay, you've done spike diffuse, you've done it, you kind of understand like, okay, this is how the game goes. All right, you just did your tutorial. Now you can go to challenge mode on hard. Let's be honest, you're probably gonna get demoralized by doing challenge mode on hard. So let's do F3, and you could go to easy or medium. Let's just start on medium, because for me it is anything below hard is just really slow. So you just go to hard. I mean, sorry, we're on medium mode here. You just go here. You can pick whatever weapon you want. And you just get used to just flicking. The main thing that I recommend is whatever sensitivity you are comfortable with in the beginning of your game, stick with it. I haven't changed my sensitivity since closed beta, and now you might be looking at my sensitivity like, damn, Zabazaki, you play on 0.78 and you're Immortal 2? Yeah, I really do. I play on 800 dpi, 0.78 sensitivity, and that's what I'm comfortable with. There's a lot of pros out there that I know who play on super low sensitivity, super low DPI, and that's what they like. Now, I mean, for me, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I can go in hard. We can do this all day. It's really nothing. Now, the thing is about doing the hard mode, I like to warm up with the ghost or the sheriff to start up, and then once I feel comfortable with the ghost or the sheriff, then obviously we'll do the phantom. And then once we do the phantom, I'm pretty much set. Now what I really go for here, I mean, mainly what I'm going for is probably like 15 or 16 on the warm up. If I hit like 20, I mean, great. If I hit less, then I'll probably do it a couple more times. As you can see here, I'm not super warmed up. We're kind of missing a couple of flicks. It's nothing crazy. All right, we hit 15. I probably still want to do another one. You know what I mean? I'll probably still do 1 or 2, maybe hit a little bit higher, because my flicks in the beginning weren't super accurate. But we came back in the end. At the beginning it was rough. We came back at the end, but it's all good. Then you maybe you want to switch to the Vandal. Maybe then you want to switch to the Phantom once you get comfortable with that. Now that's how I warm up. Okay, this is how we start warming up before playing. You can also use the practice mode. I think this is also really good just for just getting comfortable with your aim. with a muscle memory, just going back and forth between the bots, that type of thing. You can use your pistol as well. You could use the Marshall. You can use whatever you feel comfortable playing with and what you want to get used to. I'd say, you know, stick with it. Honestly, it's really up to you. If you miss a couple shots, don't trip. I mean, it's part of warming up. You're warming up. This isn't you know, perfection. This is practice, you know. So yeah, you can do all that. I mean, sometimes I'll even jump shot with the classic just to get that warmed up, just in case I'm coming around a corner and he's not expecting it. I mean, it's a great way to get some free kills. All right, anyways, let's carry on. That I would focus on. First, you warm up before you're playing. Second is work on your crosshair placement. Get warmed up in deathmatch, and I'm going to show you guys some clips that I have from deathmatch just to show you, you know, how I get warmed up. Me using the deagle, me using the vandal, just kind of popping off and everything like that. Just to show you my crosshair placement, how it's usually always at head level unless I'm coming around, you know, corners that it's, you know, dropping elevation or raising elevation, like going against stairs or, you know, looking down on ropes and stuff like that. Now, the third thing that we're going to be learning is peeking ops. I think peeking ops is it's something that not many people go over in these tutorial guides, and especially on a map like Ascent. Let's go on a map like Ascent, and we can just do custom game. I'll just do it by myself, and I'll just show you just the way, like, how I peek ops and just understanding how to actually get the off out of that angle. On the start of the round, as you can see, we are on a tack. Now, we are going to look on our scoreboard and see if our team, if our enemy team has money for an off. Now, it's 5K after the update. Before it was 4,500. Wait to see if they have 5,000. If they have around like 6,000, you know, 7,000 points, it's safe to assume they're probably going to be opping on defense on Ascent. It's just safe to assume. So I would not dry peek mid without smokes or without flashes or garage, just because they have the angle advantage. So now, what most people do in this situation, they don't look at the scoreboard. They don't realize if they have that money for it, and they'll just wide swing, boom, and they'll just get one tap. They'll just die right there. That's probably the biggest mistake. Second thing they'll do is they'll drop smokes mid and they'll peek before the smokes go down. Die. Secondly. Third, what they'll try and do is they might jiggle it with their gun out, which is just a terrible way to jiggle because it's just super slow. And you'll probably get legged that way. You might not die, but you'll probably get legged. So honestly, the best way, if you want to peek an op or jiggle peek it, keep your knife out. It's just so much faster. You can do a jump peek. You know what I mean? You can just do the little jiggle. I would say for beginners, lower levels, people who I'm most likely talking to now, they're probably not gonna be do jump jiggle peeks in their bronze, silver, gold games. It's just, who's doing that? Let's be honest. Not many people. So I would say you could either just do it a little dry peek with your knife out, see if he's there, or if you just want to play it safe and just do like the smart wave, I would flash it, then jiggle, see if anyone's there. Now, if you flash, just realize
30 seconds left.
He might have peeked, gone flashed, and hid behind a wall. So you have to be careful when you peek again. Be ready for him to be there, because 9 times out of 10 he knows you flashed and he's re-peeking with the op. Okay. So that is how I would peek it off mid on Ascent. You can either, you know, flash peek with your teammates, you know, get the trade. You know, he might get someone. It is the way it is. I've killed people completely flashed with Phoenix. I killed people completely flashed off, and it's just the way to go. As long as you have good crosshair placement, you might die. But yeah, just to show you, they will always have the better angle on you from spawn. They will always have this. They will always have this angle on you from spawn, like always. So he's always gonna have the advantage. The other place that they're gonna be opping on defense is gonna be B main, mainly on Ascent. How you would jiggle peek that? Don't. This don't. Like literally, if you're gonna try and jiggle peek this, bro, just flash it. Like just flash it, because even if he's flashed, like the angle that he has is just so easy just to shoot. I mean, honestly, like think about it. If he's opping here, right, and he's completely blind, you peek that, you're still dead. So don't try peeking op by yourself. Fourth step I have on how to get from bronze to immortal is playstyle. Figure out your playstyle, how you play around agents, and figure out what works best for you. Now, if you are always one of those guys who want to push sites, you can't stand, you know, being in a corner and holding angles, then you probably want to be an aggressive duelist. You know what I mean? You probably want to play as Reyna, Raze, Jet, Phoenix, one of those people because it fits your play style. Okay. Now, when I was bronze early on, I was a duelist. I'll be honest with you. I was super aggressive. I was duelist, and that's how I was able to carry my teammates and to rank up, pretty well solo queuing. Now, getting to later on into the ranks, I kind of realized it's less about gunplay at the higher ranks like Immortal, Diamond Plus, and more about game sense and working together as a team. Because even if you're cracked out of your mind, you can't wide swing 2-3 people and win. The game doesn't allow you to do that. So, if you got your playstyle on agents, I kind of transitioned from being a Reyna main, Jet main, into kind of being someone who holds down sights. Because what I learned is that since I can trust my aim, the fact that I am just as good as other duelists, if I'm able to transition and hold sights with my really good aim, then I'm a huge value to the team as a killjoy or just as a sentinel player in general. Because if they're scared to come B site or A site because I'm there, it's a huge asset to the team because they can maybe put one more person and stack the site, and I'm able to hold it for them to rotate so they can play and balance the game more. I mean, it's really more like a mind game at that point. But trust me, after you come to a good killjoy site 2 or 3 times and you're getting 4K'd and ace on, trust me, you're probably going mid or the other bomb side. Excuse me. Now, fifth thing I have is comms and Valorant. We've talked about, yourself. Now this is kind of where you're kind of working together as a team. How you can work, benefit your teammates just based off comms. Even if you're having a bad game, comms are a great way to show your team that you're trying. My aim's just a little off. I'm trying my best. It is what it is. Like, I'll get you guys next half. It happens, bro. I've gone 2-11 on attack. Next half, I literally top frag. I mean, it happens, bro. It literally happens. You sometimes just get unlucky. But the thing is about comms is you have to make clean, concise, simple comms. Let's go to number 6, placements. We'll talk about Hardstuck later, but first we'll talk about your unrated games and how they affect your placement games. Now, when I was playing my unrated games on my main, I think, was it last season? Closed beta, they don't even have anything. So last season, I was I played mainly with platinums and diamonds in my unrated games, and so they ended up placing me in platinum after my rated games whenever I was doing my 5 placements. And that's because your unrated MMR affects your ranked MMR. Because think about it, if you're Ace U or Shroud or 10Z, they're not going to place you gold or platinum or have you even go up against those guys in your placement matches because they know based off your 20 unrated games in your match history, you're just killing the guys who are immortals and diamonds and golds and everything. So they're going to obviously put you at a way higher MMR and place you in 5 placement games against way better people. It just makes logical sense. So if you are throwing all of your unrated games and you're forfeiting 15 out of 20 of them, you're probably going to be placed bronze or iron because that's what the game feels like you're playing as. So that's the thing. Like, if you do your 5 placements and you win them all and you're wondering why you still place bronze or gold or silver, you have to wonder what your unrated MMR really is and how to adjust that. If you were throwing all your games, I mean, you kind of set yourself up for a longer grind down the road because if you took all your 20 unrated games seriously when you made it your new account and you hopped on Valorant and you really wanted to play and win all of them, you would save yourself so much more heartache down the road when you're playing your ranked games. Now we're going to move on to step number 7. We're almost done, so if you stuck around this whole time, feel free to drop a like, subscribe. I will gladly help out any of the broskies who made it this far. So the 7th step that I have on how to get better will be, how are you playing your comp games, right? Are you solo queuing? Or are you 5 stacking, right? That's the main question I ask. I prefer duo or trio queuing is like the sweet spot for me. No matter what rank. When I'm duo or trio queuing, I feel like I have way better odds. I at least have like 2 or 3 people on my team who I know are really good players or I can trust. And so if we get 1 or 2 bad people, it is what it is. Now, when I'm 5 stacking, I'll be honest with you, I do not recommend 5 stacking in Valorant unless you really want to get into like the competitive scene. Because truthfully, 5 stacking makes the game way more difficult because they've adjusted the software to realize that if you're in a 5 stack, they'll most likely pair you up with another 5 stack. So if you don't have a team or you don't feel like forming a team together, I recommend duo or trio. Now you can solo queue in your free time. I solo queue as well. I don't solo queue all the time anymore because, like I said, it's a coin flip for me. I get unlucky. I feel like, why the fuck am I carrying these guys sometimes? Like, how are these people Immortal 3s? Like, literally, it happens to me even at my rank. I promise you. People have bad games. Sometimes people feel like, what the hell is going on? Like, are you even playing on your monitor? But yeah, I recommend duo trio queuing. I think it's a sweet spot for the algorithm. Now we're gonna work on my 8th tip, and this is our last tip. Thank you so much for stopping by the video. I love you guys. You made this far. I love you. Shout out to Panko for the edits and everything like that. But this is number 8, and this is how to never plateau and hard stuck. Like I said, we talked about earlier about how people say they're hard stuck, right? This is how you make sure you don't ever get hard stuck or you plateau. And by plateau, I mean like you kind of like level off, right? You know, you're not really getting better, you're not really getting worse. You're kind of just like you're staying at the same rank. You know, you might be gold, you might be platinum, you might be iron 1. You know what I mean? You might be bronze. You might be watching this video and you're immortal. You know what I mean? You just want to learn how to get a little bit better from just another guy. So how the way I learn how to never plateau, and just in general, you can take this for life but specifically video games like Valorant. I'm always researching new things, and by new things, okay. So let's say I showed you guys how I warmed up, right? So let's say you took my warm up routine and you applied it to yours. That would be like a new thing that you research and make sure how you never plateau. So like a video like this, another video on YouTube or Twitch, whatever, you know, that would be a way to make sure how you never plateau. And you really have to take notes and listen to what some of these guys are saying and figure out how you can use it to your playstyle. If you can record your gameplays, I highly recommend it. If you can, you know, stream your gameplays, record it, whatever way works for you. Doesn't matter if you're using Streamlabs, you know, using GeForce, if you're using Metal.dv, it really doesn't matter. Just try and record it and watch over it and figure out what you do differently versus what the pros do. All right. And this is something that you can find, you know, relatively soon. Or just watching your gameplay and just go watch, you know, maybe my gameplay, or if you don't trust mine, that's fine. Go watch ACUs, go watch 10Zs, go watch TSMs. Just figure out what works best for you. So that basically sums it all up for me today. You know, that basically, you know, how I went from bronze to immortal, and you know how I kind of, you know, started off in closed beta, clueless, new to FPS games, coming from a console fanboy to, you know, becoming a keyboard god. So if you are interested in, you know, listening more, checking out more videos, tips and tricks guides, or if you just want to get better in Valorant in general, I do offer coaching lessons on Twitch. I do stream basically daily. If you want to check out the stream, just come out, ask in chat how I can help you, and I'll feel free to help you out, broski. So thank you so much for stopping by the stream. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Feel free to drop a like, drop a follow, subscribe. It means a whole lot, and it's free on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Feel free to check out my socials. Shout out to El Paco. I love you, broskis.